Welcome to the fourth class on chi-squared. In this class, we are going to learn how to calculate the chi-square for a contingency table. Okay, let's take down the question. The incidence of Newcastle disease was evaluated in 3 tropical regions. To generate the data below, calculate the chi-squared value. Okay, we are given the table. On this table, we have 3 regions. We have Asia, we have Africa, and South Africa. Also, we have the Newcastle type A, the Newcastle type B, and we have the Newcastle type C. Okay, please, I want you to pay attention. In dealing with this question, the first step is to prepare your table. Okay, so this is the contingency table that we have. Okay, the reason why I have another column, another row is because on the table that we are given in the question, we are not given the total. You understand? In some cases, you might be given the total. You might be given the total in the question, but because I'm not given the total, so I have to create another column for row total and another column for column total. Do you understand? Okay. Now, don't forget, in our previous class, I think that should be the third or second class, I gave you that the formula for chi-squared, the calculated chi-squared, is equals to summation observed minus expected squared all over expected. You understand? This is the formula to calculate chi-squared. Now, all the values that you are given in the question are the observed value. You understand? Hello, listen to the explanation again. All these values are the expected, they are the observed value. So I need to determine the expected value. Do you understand? Okay. Now, in an attempt to determine the expected value, the first step is to determine the row total and the column total. The row total is the summation of all the value that lies in the row. You understand? So I'm going to have total here, and I'm going to have total as well in this place. Do you understand? I told you in some cases you might be given, but if you are not given this in the exam, you have to do it by yourself. Okay? Please pay attention. Okay? If you are not given the column total or the row total in the exam, you have to do it by yourself. Okay? Because there is no way you can calculate the expected value without computing the row total and the column total. Now let us proceed. 51 plus 34 plus 65, that should be 150. Okay, so here I'm going to have 150. 22 plus 25 plus 73, that is 120. Okay, for Newcastle type C, 73 plus 65 plus 22, that is 160. Okay, so here I have 160. Do you understand? You know that the categorical variable that lies in the rows are the Newcastle. You understand? And in the column we have the region. You understand? Let me even put it. Newcastles. Then here we have the regions. Okay? We have 3 regions and 3 Newcastle disease. 3 Newcastle types. Now, let us sum the column. For the region, we have 51 plus 22 plus 73, that is 146. Okay? 34 plus 25 plus 65, that is 124. Then 65 plus 73 plus 22, that is 160. Okay? You can see that we are done with the total now. Now, what you are going to have here must be equals to the summation of this and this. Listen to what I said. What you are going to have in this place, by the time you sum all this together, their summation must be equals to this. By the time I sum 150 plus 120 plus 160, their summation must be equals to 146 plus 124 plus 160. So let's try. Add 150 plus 120 plus 160, that is 430. Let us write it here, 430. Let us add this as well, 146 plus 124 plus 160. That is also 430. So let us write it here. 430. Now, so by the time you make your own calculation, if you realize that you didn't have the same answer when you sum this and this together, that means that there is error somewhere. Okay, you have to check back. Okay, so now having done the total, we have to determine the expected value. To determine the expected value, I'm going to give you a formula. You understand? By using the formula, you'll be able to determine the expected value. The formula is FRS, expected values, is equals to FRS multiplied by FCS all over N. By using this formula, you'll be able to determine the expected value. I'm going to explain, okay? FRS simply means frequency of the row summation, okay? Frequency of the row summation. FRS simply means frequency of the row summation. While FCS simply means frequency of the column summation. And N is the total numbers of frequency that we have. You understand? Total numbers of the data, of the samples, let me put it like that. Total numbers of samples that we have, that is N. Now, let's say we want to determine the expected value of 51. Hello? We want to determine the expected value of 51. So, here, expected value of 51 will be equals to frequency of the row summation which 51 belongs to. Don't forget, we are dealing with this now. Okay? We want to determine the expected value of 51. That means I'm going to have frequency of the row summation in which 3 belongs to. The frequency of the row summation, frequency of the row summation in which 51 belongs to, okay? Now, the frequency of the row summation in which 51 belongs to is what? You are going to trace it to the right hand side, that is 150. So, I'm going to have 150 multiplied by frequency of the column summation which 51 belongs to. So I'm going to trace it column downward, that is 146. So this is not 173, okay? Let me erase this. So that is 146. So I'm going to have 146 all over N. N is the total numbers of sample. So we have 9 samples. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 times 3 is what? 9. Do you understand how I got the value of N? Just add this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So here I'm going to have all over. Sorry. N is not total numbers of samples. That is their summation. The summation of all the samples. That is the value of N. Please pay attention. It's simple. I miscalculate just something now. N is the summation of all the samples that you have in your data. We have 9. We have 9 samples. When you sum up this 9 samples, you are going to get 430. You understand? So that will be the value of N. Okay? So here I'm going to have 430. It is not 9, okay? Their numbers is 9. Their summation is what? 430. Do you understand? Listen. FRS simply means frequency of the row summation. FCS simply means frequency of the column summation. And N is the summation of all the samples, not the number now. We have 9 samples, you understand? But their summation is what? 430, okay? That's what I want to get correctly, okay? Now let's proceed. Here, I'm going to have 150 multiplied by 146 divided by 430. That is 50.93. Okay? 50, I'm coming. Yes, 50.93. So here I'm going to have 50.93. Approximate to whole number, that is 51. Okay? Now, let's proceed to get the expected value of 22. Okay? Expected value of 22. So for this, I'm going to have, this is where we are now. We are here. Do you understand? Now, to get the expected value of 22, that will be frequency of the row summation which 22 belongs to. The frequency of the row summation which 22 belongs to is what? Just trace it. 120. So I'm going to have 120 multiplied by frequency of the column summation which 22 belongs to, that is what, 146. So I'm going to have 146 all over the total, the summation of all the samples, that is 430. So if you punch your calculator, you're going to have 40.74. 40.74. Let us approximate. If you approximate, you're going to have that should give us 41. Okay, 41. Please, do you understand how I am getting the expected value? If you didn't understand, kindly listen to the explanation again. Okay, it's simple. Now let us proceed to get the expected value of 73. Okay, now we are here. Expected value of 73. Okay, expected value of 73. Now that will be frequency of the row summation which 73 belongs to. You are going to trace 73 to the total along the row, that is 160, and to the column, that is 146. So I'm going to have 160 multiplied by 146 all over 430. You understand? So the punch your calculator, you're going to have 43.25. That should be 43.25. 43.25, yes. 43.25. Then if you approximate, you're going to have 43. But in some cases, it is not. Just leave your answer in decimal, okay? Let us leave our answer in decimal. We are going to make use of the decimal, okay? So do you understand how I am getting the expected value? Okay? Let us get the expected value of 34. We are here right now, okay? Maybe I should quickly prepare another table for the expected value. Expected value. The expected value of 51 is what? Is 50 point, that is 50.93, okay? 50.93. The expected value of 22 is what? 22 is 40.74. Then the expected value of 73 is 43. 73 is what? 43.25. Okay. Now let us proceed to 34. So I'm going to erase this now. Now let's get the expected value of 34. The expected value of 34 will be equals to, now we are going to trace 34 to the row total and trace it to the column total, then multiply it. Frequency of the row summation for 34 is what? 150. For the column, we have 124. So I'm going to have 150 multiplied by 124 all over 430. Please, are you getting what I'm doing? 150 times 124 divided by 430, that is 43.25. So here I'm going to have 43.25. Now the expected value for 25, I'm here now, okay? Just trace 25 to the row total, that is 120. Trace it to the column total, that is 124. 120 times 124. So I'm going to have, okay, for 25 now, 120 times 124 all over 430. Okay, punch your calculator. 120 times 124. Well, that is 36.60. 36.60. You understand? Okay. The expected value for now 65 now. We are here. You just have to trace it to the whole total. That is 160. Expected value for 65. 160 multiplied by 124 all over 430. Okay. Now take their product and divide by 430. That is 46.13. That is 46 points. Let me check. Yes, 46.13. So here I'm going to have 46.13. Please, do you understand what I'm doing? If you didn't understand, that means you are not paying attention. 46.13. So the expected value for 65 is 46.13. So let me just put it here. The expected value for 34 is 43. Do we have 243.25? I think there is a mistake. Oh God, there is a mistake. This should be 43.25. The expected value for 73 is not 43.25. The expected value for 73 it should be 54.33. You understand? It should be 54.33. I think there is a mistake when computing the data. Okay. For 73, you can do this. For 73, we are going to have 160 times 146 all over 430. That is for 73. Expected value for 73. We are going to have 54.33. You understand? So I think there is a mistake when computing the data. Now, so we have for 34, it is 43 points. For 34, it is 43.25, and then for 25, it is 36. For 35, for 25, sorry, for 25, 36.60. For 25, 36.60. Then for 65, that is 46.13, 46.13 rather. So let me just put it here. For 65, it is 46.13. So I'm going to have 46.13. You understand? Okay. Now let's proceed. So let me erase this. I'm very sure you can do the rest by yourself. Can you do the rest by yourself? Just try it. Try the expected value. I think we stop at 65. We stop here. So you can try that of 65. This 65 is not the same thing as 0. You know that they fall in different rows and different columns. You understand? So please pay attention. This 65, that you get the expected value of 65 for this place as 46.13. It doesn't mean that you are still going to have the same value for here. In fact, let us try it. The expected value for 65, we are here now, okay? This is where we are. That will be 150 times 160. 150 times 160 all over 430, okay? Now 150 times 160 divided by 430. 150 times 160, that is 55.81. 55.81. So 55.81. Do you see now? They are not the same. Okay. So now let's move to this place. You can try the remaining two by yourself. Okay. You can try it by yourself. I'm very sure you can do it. Okay. So here the expected value for 65 is what? That is 55.81. 55.81. Then the expected value for 73. Let me check. For 73, we are going to have 120 times 160 divided by 430. 120 times 160. 120 times 160 divided by 430. That is 44.65. 44.65. So for 73, that is 44.65. Do you understand? Okay, so the expected value for 22 now, the expected value for 22 will be equals to 160 times 160 divided by 160 times 160 divided by 430, that is 59.53. 59.53. Do you understand? Okay, so having gotten all the expected value for the observed value that we are given in the data, we can proceed to construct our chi-square table to determine the chi-square value. Okay, so I'm going to have my table right now. Okay, so this is the table that I prepared. On this table, I'm going to have the observed value. Are you paying attention? You see, this formula will tell you what you're going to have on this table. You understand? In an attempt to calculate the chi-square value, I need the summation of the square of the differences of the observed value and the expected value and divided by the expected value. You understand? So the first step is that I have to have the observed value on this table, then followed by the expected value. Do you understand? The observed values are the values, the samples that are given. We have 51. Are you paying attention? Then after 51, we have 22. Sorry, we have 22. Then we have 73. We have 34. Oh, we have 65. Oh, I need to draw the line. Let me quickly draw the line. So after 65, we have 60. Oh, what's going on? We have 51, 22, 73, 34. Oh, this should be 25. Sorry, this should be 25. You know, after 34 is what? 25. After 25 is 65. So I'm going to have 65. Then we have 65 again. Then we have 73. Then we have 22, which is the last sample. Do you understand? These are the observed value that we are given. Okay, so let us fill the column for the expected value. Okay, the expected value for 51 is what? Is 50.93. So 50.93. For 22, it is 40.74. 40.74. For 73, it is 54.33. 54.33. For 34, it is 43.25. 43.25. Please, I'm very sure you are getting what I'm doing. I'm just putting all the expected value to their corresponding observed value. So for 25, it is 36.60. 36.60. For 65, it is 46.13. 46.13. For 65, it is 55.81. 55.81. For 73, it is 44.65. 44.65. Then for 22, it is 59.53. So here I'm going to have 59.53. Do you understand? Okay, now back to the formula. I've already filled the observed and the expected value respectively. Now I need the difference between the observed and the expected value. So I'm going to have another heading, which will stand for another column. That will be observed minus expected. You understand? Okay. Now let us take the difference between the observed value and the expected value. Going out to calculator here. 51 minus 50.93. What's the answer? That is 0.07. Okay. So here we're going to have 0.07. 0.07. Now 40. Okay, 22 minus 40.74. that is negative 18.74, negative 18.74. Okay, 73 minus 54.33, that is 18.67, 18.67. Now 34 minus 43.25, 43.25, that is negative 9.25, negative 9.25. Okay, 25 minus 36.6, oh, 36.60, 25 minus 36.60, that is negative 11.6. Okay, 65 minus 46.13, that is 18.87, 18.87. 65 minus 55, okay, 55.81, that is 9.19, sorry. So 73 minus 44.65, 73 minus 44.65, that is 28.35, 28.35. Then 22 minus 59.53, 59.53, that is negative 37.53, negative 37.53. So the difference between the observed and the expected value are these. Do you understand? Now if you check the formula again, we still need to square the difference. Okay, we need to square each difference. So I'm still going to have observed minus expected squared, observed minus expected squared. Do you understand? Okay, so let's get the observed minus expected squared. That means we are going to square all these values. Do you understand? Okay, to get the value for these cells, we have to square 0.07 squared. We have to square 0.07. 0.07 squared is 0.0049. So here I'm going to have 0.0049. Do you understand? Okay, for these cells I'm going to square negative 18.74. Negative 18.74 squared is 351.19. You understand? So 351.19. Okay, for these cells, 18.67. The square of 18.67 is 348.57. So 48.57. For this, negative 9.25 squared, that is 85.56. 85.56. And for this, negative 11.6 squared, that is 134.56. 134.56. And for these cells, I'm going to have 356.08. And for this, we're going to have 84.46. For this, we are going to have 803.72. Okay, for these cells we're going to have 1408.50. You understand? Okay, so the square of all these values, the square of all these values give these values. You understand? Okay, now having gotten the square, we can now proceed to calculate the from the formula we need. After getting the square, we have to divide all this square by the expected value. Do you understand? Because the formula for chi-squared says the summation of observed minus expected squared. We have already gotten the observed minus expected squared, so we need to divide the observed minus expected squared by the expected. You understand? By the expected value. So here I'm going to have observed minus expected squared all over the expected. You understand? The summation of the values that I got here will be the value for the chi-squared. You understand? So that is why I said you are going to take it step by step. Okay, so now let's divide the square of the difference between the observed value and the expected value by the expected. Okay, that means that we're going to be dividing this row by this row. You understand? So 0.0049 divided by 50.93, that is 0.000962. 0.000962. Do you understand? This is 6962. Okay, for this I'm going to have 351.19 divided by 40.74. That is 8.6203. 8.6203. Do you understand? Okay, for this cells we're going to have 348.57 divided by 54.33. That is 1.9. Oh no, sorry. That is 6.4158. 6.4158. Okay, for this 85.56 divided by 43.25. That is 1.9783. 1.9783. Okay, for this, that is 134.56 divided by 36.60. 134. Okay, please, for these cells, you are going to divide this by this, and the answer will be 3.6765. 3.6765. Okay, so for these cells, let me write this very well. For these cells, we're going to divide 356.08 by 46.13. That is 7.7191. And for this, we're going to have 1.5133. This one will be 18.00. Okay, and for this, we're going to have 226.6603. You see, what I did is that I divide all these values by these values. You understand? According to the formula that we have here. So the summation of all these values will be the chi-square that we are asked to calculate. You understand? Because according to chi-square formula, this sign means summation. You understand? The summation, this sign means summation. So the summation of this formula is represented here. So the summation of all these values will give us the value of our chi-square. And if you add these values together, 0.000962 plus this 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 plus this, that will give us 74.5836. 74.5836. 74.5836. You understand? So here, that means that the chi-square value is equals to 74.5836. So we can approximate to 2 decimal place, 74.58. If you get this value, you are correct. And if you get something that is close to this, you are also correct, because you know we have already approximated some values. You understand? We've approximated some values. So if you get something that is close to this, you are as well correct. Okay, so that is the solution to that question. If you have any question regarding this, let me know in the comment section. Okay, and if you have any part that you didn't understand, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and share the video. Okay, and if you want to be part of this channel, you can consider subscribing and joining our program. Okay, see you in the next class.